What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so this one's going to be a little bit different. I am going to be going over my cards here, and that's because I'm going to be changing around two of them. So I'm going to be having a new setup, so hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit more damage now out of my comic card set, because I'm going to be changing around my Civil War card and then the Marvel Zombies. Yes, as you can see here, I'm rocking some pretty old cards. I've only got the one premium that we got just from the Thor, what is that? The movie quest? I've already forgot. Legendary Battles, yeah, that's what they're called, right? Anyway, I got the one comic card from there. It's my only premium card there. Of course, we're rocking the Loki card because that one is timeless and definitely a staple pretty much for any comic card collection here. And yeah, we've got the Star-Lord one because it has some pretty decent stats. So yeah, I'll go over these before I change them, and then, well, not changing all of them, only changing two of them. And then we'll hopefully get an update to see if changing these cards actually did anything for me. So for the Loki card here, we've got, of course, the two main stats, and then my roll on it was just a crit damage, attack speed, all defense, and physical attack. So overall, not too bad. I believe both the energy and physical are tied on here. So pretty much when I was rolling this, the only thing I was looking for is getting this one to be either physical or energy. And then, of course, whatever I got after that, I would be pretty much happy with. Over here, crit damage was just kind of a secondary one because I definitely would have preferred ignore defense here. So hopefully when I roll another Loki card in the future, I might be able to get one with ignore defense here instead. Attack speed is definitely the preferred stat here, so happy with that one. And then all defense, there's nothing too crazy on this slot here, so all defense is probably going to be the better one to get, or recovery rate depending on I don't know, depending on how you look at it, because recovery rate can be pretty useful, but also all defense, I mean, it's probably not super noticeable, but yeah, again, another kind of throwaway stat. So basically my ideal roll for this would be ignore defense, attack speed, and probably energy attack, since I think I use more energy attack characters than physical attack characters, or I'm pretty sure I do. So that would be ideal. So that's just what I have right there. And then the Civil War Thor card here, number 4, is going to be one that we are replacing. And I have this one just basically because it has the all attack, and then I did happen to roll ignore defense and skill cooldown, the two stats that I definitely like to try to prioritize on my comic card collection. So this one will be getting replaced. And then we have our premium Loki card number 2 right here, Loki and Thor fighting it out. And this one's got the energy attack, ignore defense, skill cooldown, and then the two stats that I kept it for were for the max HP and all attack, because of course that cold resist isn't really going to be doing much for me. For the actual stats, max HP, yeah, I think max HP is probably one of the better ones to roll here, max HP or attack speed. Crit rate, of course, is a decent option, but I think the max HP or attack speed are going to be the better options. Right here, of course, crit damage would have been amazing. Besides that, everything else is just whatever. And then here, of course, you want the all attack, because everything else is, yeah, not very useful. So I got 2 of the stats out of the 3 that I like, so that's why I kept this card. And then the Marvel Zombies here, again, this is going to be one that I'm replacing. I have this on here just because of the premium skill cooldown, because having so much skill cooldown on my cards as of right now has really helped just kind of max out all of characters that I have at max skill cooldown without using any Uru or doing anything too crazy with them, so I don't really have to invest much in the characters to have max skill cooldown, so it makes it a little easier to enjoy the character if they kind of rely heavily on a max skill cooldown build for their skill rotation. And then I also had attack speed and all attack on here, is again why I kept this one, but it is going to be replaced in this video. And then my Star-Lord card here is, again, nothing too special, but when you have the random stats, if I get 2 random stats that I like, I generally will keep the card, because my RNG has been really bad with trying to reroll cards. So this is pretty much why I've been stuck with these same comic cards for such a long time. But anyway, this one has the ignore defense, which I definitely need as much ignore defense as I can get, but sadly when I am going to be swapping out the 2 cards today, I will be losing a tiny bit of ignore defense, but I'll be gaining a lot of attack, so hopefully it's not going to hurt me too much. And then we've got the skill cooldown, again, another stat that I try to get all the time, and the all attack. For this one, pretty much the ideal roll here for me would be some physical attack right here, the skill cooldown right here. I would like, Again, all defense or recovery rate is fine, but this is kind of a throwaway. And then all attack here for sure. So just one stat here, if it changed for me, would be an ideal roll. So now let's go ahead and hop over to the cards I'm going to be replacing, or the cards that I'm going to be using to do the replacing. So as you can see here, we've got the Guardians of the Galaxy Best Story Ever, and then we've got the other Loki premium card that I am going to be using here. So for the Guardians of the Galaxy, I finally got a good roll on this. So we have the 3 fixed stats, and then for the random stats, I finally got the physical and energy attack roll. It took me quite a long time to get this, so I'm happy to finally get it. And then as a kind of bonus there, we did get crit rate also as the other stat up here, which again is really nice. I would have preferred skill cooldown, because I am going to be losing skill cooldown by switching out the cards, but crit rate is, I can't complain about that. I mean, all the stats on here are good except for the fire resist and that movement speed chance, so I pretty much would have been happy with any stat here except for those two, as long as I got the energy and physical attack. That was the main two I was prioritizing, so I would have kept this even if it was fire resist if I had that energy and physical, but luckily we did roll one of the 3 beneficial stats on that top slot as well. And then for the Loki cards here, so it's kind of a funny story. So yeah, this is the one that I've been re-rolling forever, so I put like, I don't know, 20 or 30 re-rolls in this thing at least, and I'm like, God, am I ever gonna get a decent roll on my Loki card? And then as you can see here, I have a second Loki card, and that actually came from one of the World Boss booty boxes. I was like, really? I was like, okay, we got a premium card, awesome. I mean, sadly it's one that I already have, but if I'm going to be getting a premium card out here, definitely not going to be disappointed no matter what premium card it is. And then look at this, it actually came out with stats that were good, so I was like, all right, so now that saves me rolling this other Loki card, and I can just use this one fresh out of the World Boss booty box. So that was quite an awesome roll right there, or pull, I guess, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, really nice. So we do of course have that fire resist, which is really annoying, but we have energy attack and all attack, the 2 stats that I definitely wanted to get on this card. For the top slot here, if I had to choose, the max HP would be the ideal one, but again, none of them are like too crazy here, so it's not worth, of course, re-rolling to try to get a max HP or recovery rate, just because, yeah, none of the other stats are too desirable. But here we got the energy attack, which of course is going to be the one that you want, and then right here the all attack, again, they're going to be the one that you want. So pretty much 2 ideal rolls for me, at least in terms of these cards. So now we're going to go ahead and well, actually, let's take a quick look here, show you my card effects. So we're rocking 10% for the attack speed, or 10.8. We got crit rate is only 8%, crit damage 8.1. All attack is only 35, with physical attack at 6, energy attack at 12, and my ignore defense at 23. And then the other kind of main stat to look at here is going to be our skill cooldown, which right now is at pretty much 33%. So when I switch out these cards, I am actually going to be gaining some physical attack, 6%. I'm going to gain energy attack, 11%. All attack isn't going to change too much. It's going to go up by just 0.5%. My skill cooldown, though, is going to go down by 5.4%, which is not too bad, because most of my characters, if they have skill cooldown on any of their gears, they come out at 49% or 49.8, so pretty much maxed out. And if they don't have any native skill cooldown on her gears, then we're getting what am I getting? Usually 46% or something like that. So now I'm just going to be sitting at like 41% for characters that do not have skill cooldown on their gears, and like 45% on characters that do. So it's not too terrible. I can do a few Uru, or I can just start rolling the last slot on the gear for skill cooldown instead of ignore defense. But speaking of ignore defense, I'm going to be losing 1% ignore defense with this switch, so luckily it's not anything too terrible. 1% is manageable, but my ignore defense was low to begin with, so I'm already having trouble maxing out my ignore defense on a lot of characters. I usually have to use like 6 ignore defense Urus, so that's kind of annoying, but we'll see how much it really hurts me. And then for attack speed, we're actually going to be getting a big boost in attack speed. We're going to get a 9% boost to attack speed. And then max HP, we're going to get 8.5% boost. And then for crit rate, we're getting a 5.4% boost. So let's go ahead and get these cards equipped here. So Guardians of the Galaxy, we're going to go ahead and equip, yes please. and we're going to override our Civil War card here. So as you can see, there's going to be the changes to the cards. So let's go ahead and equip. And yes. Alright, and now the next one is going to be the second Loki. Whoop, second Loki card here, right? Yes, this is the one. So we're going to go ahead and equip you over the Marvel Zombies. So let's go ahead and equip that. Boom, there we go. We have my updated cards. So now we have 3 premium cards in here, and then 2 of the farmable cards, which again, that Loki card, amazing. So definitely want to have this one. And this Star-Lord card is nice. Hopefully I'll be able to replace it in the future, but having that ignore defense as a premium stat, I definitely need that. So if I do replace it, it will be with a card with another ignore defense as a premium stat. So yeah, this one's probably going to be here for a while. So this is probably going to be my new updated cards, comic card collection for a while, because my old one, oh my god, I had that for so long. So yeah, this is probably not going to get changed very often, but this is what we're working with now. So now we'll go ahead and view the updated card effects here. So we are going to be getting almost 20% attack speed now. So that went up, yeah, by quite a bit. Our crit rate's at 13.4%, crit damage is now at 8.1, all attack is at 34.5. Okay, maybe I had that, yeah, I think I said I was gaining 0.5%, but it looks like I lost 0.5%, so I was a little off on that. But our physical attack doubled because we only had 6% before, and our energy attack pretty much doubled as well, because we're gaining 11%, I'm pretty sure, from my card collection. And as you can see there, the ignore defense went down by 1%, and our skill cooldown went down about 5%, from 32% to 27.5%, which again, 27.5 is still a really good amount of skill cooldown. So I was just having really high skill cooldown in my last my previous card collection. So yeah, you don't have to rock that much. This much is probably a little bit better, so hopefully it doesn't mess with my skill rotations too much. But now that we have the kind of card collection changed around here, we're going to go ahead and see how it actually affects my damage. So I've already recorded a clip with Scarlet Witch taking on Ebony Maw at stage 40, so we're going to go ahead and play that, and that's going to be with my old comic card collection. And then we'll hop into the exact same fight with the same team up and no strikers on the same stage of Ebony Maw with Scarlet Witch with the new setup here for the comic cards, and see if we get a noticeable difference. So let's go ahead and hop over to that. Alright, so here we are at Ebony Maw. We're doing stage 40, and this is before I switched my comic cards. This is with the old comic cards. We're using Scarlet Witch, and we have her as lead, and then just 2 other random characters in there. Mainly have Wasp in there just so I don't get kind of crowd controlled at all. And what I'm trying to do here is pretty much just have the damage proc on my 5th skill, because it's a longer skill and it's probably a little easier to line the damage proc up on a little more consistently instead of trying to get it on the 4th skill every time. So that's what I'm going to be doing just for this initial test here. So we're gonna just speed through this, so I do have it sped up to 2 times speed so that I can get this a little bit quicker. But anyway, I did this a few times here with Scarlet Witch, and we're pretty consistent every time on the time that I was ending at. So if we let this play through a little bit more, we ended up around 2.5 minutes, if I remember correctly. So that was pretty much where I was sitting at, using the 5th skill for my damage proc, no strikers, to kind of skew my results here. And then I think Wasp actually does strike a little bit here, but I can't remember for sure. But Wasp shouldn't be doing too much damage because I believe I have her built defensively anyway. So yeah, we're coming around the 2.5 minute mark here. So this should be about where I clear this. So let's find out. Okay, yeah, so it's about 2 minutes 25 seconds, and that's about what I was getting. I was getting like plus or minus about 5 seconds from that each time I tried. So now here we are with my new comic cards to see if we see any kind of noticeable difference here. And again, I did this a few times just like the previous one before I switched my comic cards, just to see if I was getting kind of consistent results. And again, we're only going to be using, or we're going to be trying to line up the damage proc on the 5th skill. It was kind of off a few times where just the damage proc refused to go off, so a few times it ended up on the third skill, but that was in both testings that happened, so I pretty much just ruled that out as changing the results quite a bit. So anyway, here we go. We're down to 8 bars, and we still have 3 minutes 45 seconds left on the clock here. So let's see if we can't get through this a little bit quicker than before, because I would be kind of disappointed if my damage didn't really go up when I'm getting an extra like 12% or 15, like 15%, no, 15% for my energy attack, something like that. But anyway, we're getting close now, and it's looking good that we're going to clear it faster. We just have 2 more bars to go here, and I did lose my damage proc like twice in a row there, which was kind of annoying. But there we go, 2 minutes 48 seconds, so I was about 15 to 20 seconds faster overall with this new setup for the comic card, so I was quite happy with that. So I did increase my damage with a noticeable result, so overall happy with the changes here. So this is what my comic card's going to look like for kind of the foreseeable future, with the exception of maybe me getting a random lucky roll on a Loki card and replacing that one to get my ignore defense up. But besides that, this is probably what I'm going to be rocking for a while now. But anyway, that was just an update to my comic cards. Hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.